Hey YouTube world, how y'all doing? All right, so I'm here from my house. I want to give you guys a few minutes to dial in and start coming in. I'm asking you a lot of questions on online right now. So I am right now hanging out. So we're gonna see what if you guys could hear me or not. I'm gonna do some tests. See, mic. Okay, I think the mic's working. Hopefully, but we'll see. We'll test it out. We'll see if you guys come in. So I'm gonna hang out here for a few more minutes until you guys come in. I'll be teaching some photography today. Literally about the history about photography. I'll be teaching you guys a little bit about cameras and settings and the basic stuff to have. And then we're going to start working ourselves all the way up to advanced, even some editing and even how to sell your photos. So just hang in for a few more minutes. Feel free to, the chat is going to be open. So ask me questions as we go along. Like I said, people will be joining in and out the whole time, and also going to be recorded. So you want to go back and see this on your, if you want to see this later on your devices, we will be here. So you go back and look at it and always have it. So ask me questions. If you guys could hear this, please let me know if you could hear this. I know there's a couple of people coming in slowly. So yeah, lots of love to everybody. Let me know where you guys are coming from. Let me know how you guys are dealing with this whole coronavirus. Like I say, you're actually in my office right now, part of the office. The rest of the office is, there's more machines on the other side of this, the back side of this camera. So feel free to ask me questions as we go along at any time. So like I said, right now I'm just gonna hang out and see who else. We'll give a few more minutes till 10 o'clock, and we'll start from there. I got some missed calls already. Let's see. I'm sorry, I'm answering some text messages. Hey, where's the link at? Hey, where you're at? So like I say, I am answering some calls right now about if I'm doing the live and where's the link at. So yeah, this is a social media, got all social media. So I'm actually going to be going live at different areas, but mainly here on YouTube. So this is my YouTube channel. I got this channel up and running a couple, like last year. I had more videos on it, but I took them all down, started something fresh. So what's up, Shannon? Thank you, Shannon. Thank you so much. Um, but hopefully, hopefully I can teach you guys some stuff. This coronavirus has a lot of us in our homes. So I figured what better way to have you guys and teach you guys some photography, teach you guys what I know, so you guys could capture better memories. Doesn't matter what you guys do, you have more options to learn. So hey, thank you, Shannon. I do this all around the world. I teach photography around the world. So I love teaching. I love helping other. I love I'll tell you a little bit what I do later on and how I got into photography in a few minutes. Alex, I want to, more people are starting slowly to come in, so they're like right now hitting the post. The first class will be, sorry, I'm going to be, oh, scratch, I got allergies. No, I don't have no coronavirus going on, but my allergies do mess up once in a while. So I'll be talking about that. But yeah, I'll be talking about photography, the history of photography. I'll be talking about cameras, all types of cameras, and what to get, not to get, how to do settings, even how to create photos like this behind me, how to print, not print, what's a good printer. So slowly as the days go along, the next 2 weeks, you should be able to know what type of cameras to use and not to use. Also will help out a lot in the form of settings, because a lot of people get cameras and don't know what settings they are. So like I said, I'll start here in a few minutes, like probably like 10:05, and I'll start getting people on here. So feel free to share this link. Feel free to share it with people sitting at home, people or they want to learn photography, or even just want to capture better photos. This is a good opportunity to learn. I'm not in a fancy studio right now. I'm literally in my home office. So you guys exploring some of my, I got some photo up, but I got a couple more pieces that'll be explaining you guys what it is. So I'll be back right. Give me 1 minute. I'll be right back. Okay. Had to get myself some sanitizer because I know you guys had to suffer. Yeah. So say the good thing about this, a lot of people are at work, so you get to have me privately. So normally I go around everywhere and teach this. So ask me questions. I know Shannon's here. Awesome. Thank you for following me. Um, questions. The more questions you have, the better. So ask me questions as I go along. All right, we're gonna start here. It's 10:01, so I'm gonna go live. I am live, but I can teach you guys a little bit about photography. A little bit of who I am. I started photography when I was 15 years old. I'm 43 right now. I've done photography. My first camera was an original Polaroid camera, the one with the films. And we take the film, we shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Our wrists were hurting when we were kids. We take pictures and we shake it. That was my very first camera. I fell in love with photography. Um, I went through a lot in my childhood, and my photography was books, and photography was my passion. So, I graduated from high school, I did university, I did all that fun stuff, but I was always going back to my feeling of the camera, the hearing of the Polaroid in your ear. And then when I first time I saw a picture come alive, and I saw the image just before me like magic, I was like, oh, wow. So I fell in love with photography. I fell in love with the way that I saw something in my eyes. A couple seconds later, there was life. So, throughout the years, photography has changed. So have we. So our digital age now, everything's on a phone. Everything has a phone. Everything has a lens in the back of it. Everything has a camera. What people don't understand is photography starts with us. The day that we could see clearly, that is when photography starts. When we capture memories with our eyes. Believe it or not, that is the best lens you could ever have is your own eyes. You know, Oh, awesome. Yeah, I'll touch base on stuff like that. So when you saw, your eyes and you start capturing stuff with your eyes is a memory. The bad thing is we cannot go back and relive it. We could, but we can't share it with the world. So back in the days, they took glass, and if you see the picture that I have on my profile in my website, and one of the cameras, you put your head over, you go in there real dark, and it was a piece of glass out, and you take it away, and it was just a piece of glass. So that was back in the days photography did that. Then they start getting more. Hey, that was pretty cool, pretty cool. Let's add film to it. What if we take paper and mirrors, and then we let the light in, and we could compress it, and then all of a sudden, wow, we got film now. And it started to progress and progress and progress and progress. So as we go along, cameras are developing so much. And right now, you have it on this, you have it in little tiny little things. I mean, 18 megapixels. Who would have thought of this in 2020? We're sitting here with an 18 megapixel camera in our phones. To us professional photographers, this is the worst there is for us because this has taken the livelihood of many photographers away. So let me show you guys some cameras. And I've been lucky enough, I have a lot of friends because I collect cameras. I love collecting cameras. I mean, I'll show you some now. Some people give me cameras. I cherish cameras. I have so many cameras all over the house. My wife's like, "Let's just use the camera." We're gonna, in my office. Normally, this is part of my office, and I'm redoing my office, and then I have a shelf where all my cameras go on. In the other room, which is the art room, where I paint and do a lot of stuff with painting. That in that room has a lot of more of the artistic cameras. So let me show you guys some pretty cool cameras. So these have been given to me. Some have and some haven't. This is an old Polaroid. Okay, this is what an old Polaroid is. You would take and put the film back here. You press a button, pull the film. So you guys are gonna, these new kids don't know what this is. Okay, this is a camera back in the day. This was like the Mac Daddy of Polaroids. Okay, this was given to me. A friend of mine knows that I love photography. I'm always trading art for cameras or trading art for something. So I love giving my art away sometimes. People say, Alex, I can't afford your piece, but I love cameras. So what's kind of cool is this is the way people used to photograph this, okay? This way, all right? Or if you want to do it this way. So, I mean, this is a heavy piece, What they're about this is a solid steel, which is kind of cool. You want to put it away. There's a little drawer. This goes up and down. It closes up. I love having it out because you don't see this no more. Now, us in the modern days, there's filters. Now, if you look at this here, these dials, they would change. It was so cool. I love history. Then you have the little stuff like this. You press, and it was kind of cool. You see through here, you boom, there it was. You have your cameras everywhere. I'll show you what the flash was back in the days. A speed light was called a speed light. So a flash that people mount on cameras is actually the technical term is called speed light. A speed light is boom, catch speed, stop, freeze time, seconds, pow, real fast. So that's what speed light is. Let me show you back in the days what this used to be at. So this was just called a flash back in the days. Okay, this is what goes on the Polaroid. You see that, you guys? It's a light bulb. Okay, that is pretty intense. And then you have the little cables you plug into the camera. Now, if you want to change the colors, which we'll talk about this in the third class, we talk about lighting and how to do certain lighting. You see, there you go. It's a filter. Okay, filters are amazing. I love filters. And we'll be talking until you use press a button. You take the light off. And this is how you take the light bulb off. See? All right, this is an original. If you look inside of it, it's kind of cool. It has a little bit, it has like inside of it, I don't know if you guys can see this, but it almost looks like steel wool. All right. Steel wool in there. I don't know if you guys can see. I know there's reflections, but that's pretty badass. So yeah, they put it back in, you turn it. You know how many bulbs people went through? I had cases of bulbs all the time, in my bags and film back in the day. So and then, there's different companies start coming up. Hey, you know what? That's too big. Let's go through something, something smaller. So it looks like light. It's very cool. Damn, I'm 49. Never seen one of those on TV. Yes, I do have a collection of cameras. Then Brownie, friend of mine, Mary Baum, sent me a camera. I'm trying to put this back here. Sorry, you guys are gonna go back and forward. So the next camera I have is a Brownie. Okay, this is a Brownie. Okay, Brownies are pretty cool. Brownies are more compact. Okay, what's kind of cool about Brownies is it's a lot of the what's called medium format or full frame cameras that you see look over and photograph. So the eyepiece, you used to look through the top. They go like this. You can see the photo. Oh, there's somebody there. You grab, boom, there it was. I love Brownies because they were compact. Brownies were compact. Okay, these are legends. These are old cameras. This is a Brownie Hawkeye. This is a camera flash model. So you take the cables. There was the speedlighter flash. They put it there and there it is. So that was a Brownie. Okay. So then go, hey, guess what? We need something more compact. We need something more efficient because Brownie cameras, believe it or not, had a thing about the Brownies had a plastic casing, and people were dropping them or breaking them, and people used to cherish their cameras because it was like if you had a camera, man, you were in it. So all right, so that was a Brownie camera. So let's go into also my friend Mary gave me this. This is Konica. Okay, let's start getting compact. Okay, this is all metal. Okay, all metal cases. They don't make cameras like this no more. They are heavy. You could drop these and they were okay. Now, if you guys look at these lenses, okay, see this lens? They start getting technical with this. And look at this. This is pristine, This case, you had to know this is your one was an aperture, which we'll talk about that in class number 2. So you had aperture, you had to set up your settings, you had to set up your zoom. So as you turn, you had to focus, manual focus, you guys, manual focus, no pony shoe. It was manual focus. So if you didn't have good eyesight, your picture would come out blurry. Like, why did it come out blurry? Because it was manual focus. I love seeing the history about this. Like this used to be your zoom. You see these low levels here. This used to be your zoom, and this is your film casing. So a lot of people you open it up and you put the case inside, and and there it is. That's film camera, you guys. Film. That was film. Okay, 35 millimeter came into play, and it changed the industry of photography a lot. So that changed photography. So yeah, always ask questions, you guys. Like I say, this is fun. The first couple of classes, like I say, we'll take a little bit of people get in here because I don't often do classes on YouTube. I do it in person, but I like to go live and since I'm home, give you guys this. So the next camera, Minolta. Everybody knows about Minolta. This was actually given to me by another friend of mine recently from Ohio. I took a trip to Ohio, and this is pretty cool. Now they got fancy with these lenses now. Now you have more of a it's called nifty 50, and oh man, you gotta have a nifty 50 millimeters. Wow, we go far. Look how clear it is. Same thing, film camera. The thing about the film is that this one you wind it. You take a photo, wind it, boom. And then you have the shutter. This is your shutter. What I like also about the Minoltas was Minolta was one of the very first ones that actually started incorporated your cheat sheets in the back, your ISOs and all that stuff. So that was your cheat sheets for your ISOs. All right, so this is Minolta. This is film. What's funny thing is all these kids nowadays don't know what this was, or real, the photographers knew what this was back in the days, but don't know what it is now. To know, film was very expensive to develop. 24 pictures was like probably like $15-20. And you go to a wedding, you have like 600 photos. Yeah, and then you have to make sure you knew about your apertures, your ISO, your speed, and all that. So that's that one. So that was real tough. So then slowly the digital era started coming in. And as digital started coming in, we had different digital cameras. We had the little point and shoot pocket cameras. And we all wanted one and it was great. Yeah, I love cameras. I love cameras. I love collecting cameras. I love photography. This is like a chatting for me with photography. So photography started changing. Then digital comes in. Oh my God, digital. And now professional photographers hated digital because they knew what that was going to do to them. They knew that was going to change the studio. They knew that that would one day be the cause of their studio shutting the door. I remember when I was 17 years old, and you have a professional photographer, and you walk into most of the houses, the Suite 15, the 16s, you had a big 20 by 24 photo on the wall, and you had it on the wall, and everybody's like, "Hey, cool." And on that wall was all the pictures of the Sweet 15, the big old dresses, or the tuxedos, or you senior photos at that time. And we got dressed up. We had a makeup artist, and you go get your hair done and all that. It was such a big deal to go sit in a studio with a professional photographer, and then all of a sudden you come back a week later and you had a print. Okay. Nowadays, people forgot what it is to feel a print. I'll talk about that in a little bit. So for digital still coming in. So then now we're in the era where people can go down to a store, spend $3.99 and get a camera like this. This is called an entry level camera. Okay, for photographers, entry level. It's a little Nikon D3000, and you get a Canon T3Is or T5Is, or these are the basic cameras. This is called a kit camera. It comes with a regular DSLR. It has a big screen in the back. Now you can see what you're doing. For us that don't see, we can actually use this as a cheat sheet. And then this is actually 50 million, 18 to 55. And we'll talk about later on about distance and focus. That'll be class number 4. So we'll talk about that. So then this started coming out. We're all excited. Like I say, I was excited because, oh my God, I can take more photos. What? I was like, my fingers were hurt because I was like all excited, and then you have to wait till this. So yes, let's talk about the ability. Great. I separated the talent from ability. You know what, Shannon? This is pretty cool because it's just not, nowadays it's not easy, in this industry. It's not. It's very hard to be different, to be stand out. So yeah, get this camera. This is what they start using. Guess what? We got film now. We got film that could last for days. A little card. We go over and over and over and over. It goes like, yay! Now, if you get older, your hands start to hurt. You're start developing a pain here from clicking so much. If you're like me, great example. I was 4 years ago. I was very first time I was on Melissa Etheridge cruise, and we're on a cruise. And if you guys know who Melissa Etheridge is, man, she's badass. She's a hell of an artist, and she puts off for some of her friends together, and she puts on this amazing cruise. So I was there, and I got to meet well, a ladies. Her name was Anne, and she goes, "Hey, good to see you." And we started talking. I was like, I took 20,000 photos. Okay, 20,000 photos in a period of 7 days. Okay, so that's how much photos I take when you guys see me. The pixels break down each time you're right. Well, we'll be talking about that in a little while. We talk about pixels. We'll be talking about camera cards. That's what we're going to start getting into today. I'll be teaching you guys some camera settings. I'll be teaching you guys today also about certain certain things in your camera. But I got Canon, I got Nikon, and I got Sony. So if you guys have any of those cameras, I'll be teaching you guys some pretty cool stuff, right? So then this came out, everybody's happy, everybody's like getting these, and then of course the bodies are getting crazier. Then of course, as the people go higher, then Canon came out with a bigger camera. This is a Canon D60. This camera's called Y. Many years ago, like 5 years ago, I lost all my gear. I got sick and I had to sell all my gear. And I was like, I always kept everything that somebody gave me. I always kept all those cameras, but I sold all my studio equipment because I got sick. So it's part of the industry. When you're a freelancer or a contractor, you don't have the ability to buy stuff. So I sold my gear. I had to. It was like medicine or camera. So I got Yvette Waters and Don Waters she passed away of cancer. But she had an extra camera. She gave me this. Okay. I'm a phone user. Well, we teach you guys some cool photo shoots. I'll show you guys some good photography on your phones too when we talk about it too. So this camera was given to me. Her name is Y. Now we're just thinking getting into bigger lenses. We start getting into the heavier cameras. Now we're starting saying, hey, where's Wi-Fi now? So yeah. So this camera was given to me, and this actually was able to help me get back to where I was. So this camera here is called Y. And I love this camera. This is the second one that if you ever see me at an event or something, this is the one that's always next to me. It's close to my heart. Doesn't matter where I'm at. This camera's always with me. When I go to shoots, I have 4 cameras with me. Yeah, we'll talk about that. All right, so we got that one. So then, this is my second wife. This is a 5DSR. This is my professional full frame camera. This is my baby. Okay, and one of the kids that I have. I call these all my kids and babies. But this particular camera, and I get my cameras when I go on the cruise. I have it signed by different artists. That's Melissa and Linda on there. I have Crystal Bowersock, Sonia Lee, just some of the artists that I've done photos. They're on cruises, whatever. Take some photos and I do some art and I donate it to them. But this is my baby. This is what I use, and I'll show you guys my setup and why I have a lanyard on my camera. Very interesting. A lanyard and a strap. So I'll be talking about this, how I set up my camera in a few minutes. All right, the next thing I have now, let's get into the last 3 years of photography. This is what the new era of photography is like. Let me take this down. Hold on one second, guys. This is the new era of photography. It's called mirrorless cameras. This is a Sony camera, mirrorless, meaning this fits in a pocket. Now, this is not as strong as my wife, as I call it back there, my second wife. But this is a Sony camera. This is where it's mirrorless. Meaning before you used to have a mirror, goes click, click, capture, and release. There's no mirrors on these. It's whatever you see on the screen is going to capture. Now, I'm not much of a fan of mirrorless. Yes, they're okay, but we'll be talking about why it matters. Okay, so that's this. Okay. All right, so let's talk about camera setting. Okay. First rule, I'll tell you guys, as photographers, we hate this part. You get a camera out of your box, or phone out of the box. And what you do, you turn it on and start playing with it. So guess what? Something comes with it. It's called a manual. Manual. All right, so this manual, we get these. Okay, let me tell you about the history of a 5DSR. So this camera comes out. All these photographers wanted 50 megapixels. You could do 200 by 100 inches. Wow! You have a GoPro. Hey, GoPros are awesome. I got mirrorless cameras are pretty cool. Shannon, we talk about those. So yeah, so yes, manuals. So Canon releases this camera, and a lot of photographers in the industry are spending thousands of dollars on new gear. And guess what? The photos are not being sharp. So the 5DS and 5DSR came out. It's mainly made for, say, 200 inches wide. I mean, 50 megapixels. Wow. Full frame, meaning that it's a full frame that you can see everything. I'm going to talk about crop sensors and full frames. We'll be talking about that later on. But so everybody's complaining. The pictures are too soft. And the professionals are calling Canon, they're returning their gear, blah, 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 blah. If they would have read the manual, okay, they would have read, hey, Denise, what's up? So I will give you cliff notes, but this is important, okay? Hey, Denise, I have your camera here. Look, I have it right behind me. So thank you. It's one of my collections back there. So manuals. So when I looked into this manual, I read my manuals, like I always do for every camera. And I found out that there's a sharpening thing. So you have to make sure you put it in your sharpening. So custom settings, which will be show some creative photography, showing that. So these custom settings in here will show you how to make your photos sharper. And all it was is you go into your settings, you do sharpen all the way, and that would be perfect. And then that's how you do it. So yes, Denise, I met up with Denise, and she gave me a camera when I was in Ohio. So I have it here. It's one of my dearest possessions. In the back, I have a lot of cameras over this house, but the ones that are dear to me, the ones like I have, ones people have given me, those are my valuables a lot. They're close to my heart. So thank you. But yeah, manuals. So that's what it took. It took a person to open up a book and say, hey, guess what? You gotta sharpen this up. I take some of the most beautiful wildlife photos with that camera. So that is why you say manuals. It's kind of cool because if you get a new camera, I would do Canon, Sony, Nikon, God, I mean, Hasselblad. I do all these cameras, so I teach this. So I gotta know this stuff. So every time, yes, nigga, badass, so cool. All right, so that's manuals. Rule number one: learn your camera, you guys. Learn what the camera does. Also, guess what? It's a little mini photography course in here. It teaches you what every setting does. It gives you instructions. Hey, this does this or this does that. So manuals. All right, so let's get into cameras. All right, so let me start with the most basic DSLR, which is the most one you get at a simple store. $3.99, you get these right now. It's called a kit camera. It comes with an 1855 lens. It comes with the most basic settings, okay? Now, all these buttons. Ah! What's all these buttons? What do I do? Ah, automatic. I know it's something, right? Well, guess what? What I love about Nikon is they have something that comes with, it's called guide. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see it. It's called guide up there. That button says guide. You know, so your GoPro's still in a wrapper in a box. Man, I'll be doing a GoPro video next. I'll be showing you guys. That'll be in 3 weeks. I'll be doing video GoPros. I'll be teaching GoPros and drones. So this is how you do it. This is a guide. You press on that. You turn your camera on. Okay, first of all, let's talk about batteries. I was teaching a class, and everybody's like, "Hey, Alex, the batteries are, how you make a battery last. First of all, you open at the bottom. You put it in there, and that's where your battery goes. In some cameras, most Canon, Nikons, and Sony's have the batteries in the bottom. I do not recommend charging it through here. Sony does that, but some people use this as a charging port. Don't do that, because if it overcharges you plug into a wall and you charge it here and you have a short in the house, there goes your camera. Insurance. When you get a camera, doesn't matter if it's a kit camera or whatever, get insurance on it. How to use it. I'll open it. So every single little dial on this. So let's do the most basic one. It's called the green one. It's called automatic. The camera does everything for you. Okay, now some Nikons, like, you turn it on, you see this. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm sorry, I got glare on here. Okay, you see numbers, right? You see that in the back of your screen. Okay, seeing that in the back of your screen, you're like, what does this mean? You go like this, you look at it, and you point. Okay, the proper way of grabbing a camera is the way you feel comfortable. If you have a strap, people do this around their necks. They hang in. This is what you guys do. You walk around. Hey, I'm a photographer. All right. So what I do is this. I tell people this. If you're going to be walking around with the camera at a theme park or walking somewhere, I recommend two things. One, you get what's called a spider strap. Okay, a spider strap is this kind of harness. It's like a handle. Okay. The reason I say spiders, they have these ones at Amazon. They're low end. They're not good. So a spider strap is pretty cool. Okay. So because this, I can put my hand in here. I will never drop my camera. Okay. So this is called spider strap. I always have it with me everywhere I go. Boom, boom, boom. Whenever you see a photo, you capture it. This is spider strap. Then I also have on the other side, you guys see these fancy lanyards. Okay. The reason I do this is because even though these are great, and this is what comes with the camera, and this says what people don't realize when you're traveling, and it has you guys don't notice, but it says your camera name on them. Okay. And if you have a fancy camera and people know what cameras are, spider strap. Yes. Spider strap. I'll be putting a link also of all the stuff that I use, all my gear. I'll put you guys a link so you guys can see what I do. But people don't realize this when you're traveling. Your camera is on the name of this strap, because why? The manufacturers wants to say, hey, guess what, Nikon? Guess what, Canon? This person's using this. This is a way to get yourself robbed. Okay. I've been lucky enough that I'm very precautious with my surroundings. But this is a way of getting yourself robbed when you're going on traveling. Okay, so I don't use this. Okay, I have it on this one because this is what I get to my students as a beginner to teach people. Okay, so spider trap. If you guys notice the Sony's, I have a little one like this. Sony has a little Sony one. See, it says Sony, but it's the back of my neck. So you wear a shirt, you go flip it inside out, and then you don't see it. See, nothing is visible because nobody needs to know what type of camera. This is a point and shoot. Nobody's gonna rob you for a point and shoot. But if they know you have a $2,000 camera and you're in a very bad place, especially when you're going like overseas or something like that, and there's places that you're not like, I was on a cruise, and I got off the cruise, and I was in a port, and I was walking through a port, and I had my camera backpack, and I have my camera, and I have also on the spider straps. They also have a harness you can put on your pants, and I use that, which is actually this piece right here. You can strap it to your pants, and that way you can't take this off. So if you're a traveler, I use a spider strap, okay? So spider strap, that's for this. And this could go around your wrist, it doesn't fall. Now the reason I have a lanyard is because two things. One, has a, make sure it's a good lanyard, okay? Good lanyard, all right? And it has a metal lanyards, okay? Reason why, how many of you guys have keys? You guys are driving around, and you guys want to, you have your cameras with you, you forget your keys, you forget your stuff. I always take this strap. If you notice some of the lanyards, you go to this and you attach it together, and guess what? Now you have your keys and your things, so that way you know where your camera's at all times. Also my keys, I carry this. Okay, so also easier to carry my camera. Wear a belt too. Don't wear baggy pants and and have your camera fall. Have your pants come off with the camera on it. Okay, belt. But I always have a lanyard on my stuff. It's also comfortable as a backup. Um, if my hand gets tired, I have it. I'm not gonna let go. I do not rely on this 100% if it's a heavy camera. But if you're traveling, guess what? There we go. All right. You said you could clip it. You said you could clip it. Yes. This is for the belt. This is actually, I will show you guys this gear. I'll show you all my little gear in a little bit. But this actually goes like in a belt clip. It actually slips in and out into a belt clip. This is for a high-end camera. They have the little ones. But I use this. See this right now? I have a lanyard with a metal clip on it, and I have this. And it works with all cameras that have a, see? There we go. This is my camera. I have my lanyard. So there's that. So let me show you guys on a different camera. So any camera like this, you can plug, it has a thing on it, a metal clip, plug it in, and it helps out, helps it. Now, like I say, do not take a chance if it's a very heavy camera. So like right now, I'm taking my lanyard, and I go from camera to camera. There you go. See, camera to camera. I have it then as a backup, and there it is. So send me a link for that too. All right, so you saw this. I took a lanyard, okay, as a backup for my neck. Now, there's lanyards that don't have the safety collar on it. Just make sure if you have a lanyard or if you have somebody that sews, to sew you something that's strong enough, because I like to have my hand, I always walk around my camera like this or in my hands, what I'm saying? I always want to be ready to photograph. Now, when you're photographing, a lot of us, I had a stroke and I've had heart attacks and my hand shakes. Okay, we have the hand shaking. Sometimes you have the thin. So put your camera on automatic. First thing is you turn on your camera. Okay, turn on your camera. And then you press green, automatic. The camera does everything. You point. Now, when you're photographing, if your hand shakes, okay, your hand's shaking, okay, and it does just like this, we could be tired. We have back problems. Sometimes we've been too tired or something. Okay, so you go to this. Put your hand on your lens first. Okay, this is a tripod, and then put this right here. See this? As I do it, I do this, and here. That becomes an instant tripod. Well, when I walk in my camera, see, I'm carrying about my lens. See my lens? Okay, well, I carry like this. Okay, so this is the way you see it. So I walk like this. See, I have my lanyard on. It's only as a safety because if I drop my camera, it's a safety, so I won't drop my camera. Okay, so like right now, I'm letting it go. All right, so this is here. See, yes, you can do that with cell phones too. Cell phones, there's actually a you can socket lock it and you plop it in and you put it in the cell phone. So see, there you go. So I'm carrying my camera like this. Okay, that's how I carry my camera. You photographing this. I have a lanyard with a metal clip. I could change cameras. I was going one day, change my camera from one camera. And I say the same thing. I take a clip where the thing goes on to. Okay, you see this right here? Take this. I grab it on. Make sure it's nice and closed. Make sure this is locked. There you go. There's another one. Okay. There we go. As a backup. Okay. Now you guys see it as a backup. So if it drops on my neck. It doesn't come off my neck. Nothing's worse. Why? What child? My neck doesn't hurt. I mean, I walk around my camera. I mean, I'm used to it. Used to it. I mean, you're not going to be carrying your camera just on your camera. You have your arms on it. So when I'm photographing, if it's a big lens, low lens, if your phones, okay, talk about phones. On my phone, I have these little, like same thing with my camera. Okay, I have my lanyard also, and there's something this string right here. You see this? Okay, I take this, and you take a case. And what I do is I take the case. Inside this case, there's a sticker. It's called 3HB tape for 3M. And you stick it on there, you put this thing around it, and guess what? There it is. But also, what I like about this is I can take my same lanyard that I've been using for my camera and everything, put it in there, and lock it up, and there it is. Okay. So now I'm using the same lanyard for my cameras. I'm using it for my phone. So also it's great when you're going to cruise. You have this as a backup. So I take this and put it on everything. See? It all this is, believe it or not, if you know somebody that sews, if you know somebody that has, it's called industrial lanyards, and with this, they just make sure you have a metal clip, okay, heavy duty metal clip or locking, or you can make one at home, okay, you can make one at home. What I also like about this is that I can always take this off, and I have this also, so I can leave this on my camera if I need to at all times. Like I said, you want to make sure that you have a good one that you can use at all times. Okay, and now I'll leave this on like this, see? So I can take it on and off, I can do it, whatever, I can change cameras. So like I said, or if you have somebody that sews, have you make it you want. Make sure it's heavy duty, they can resist 10, 15 pounds. And the way to know if it's good, I do this test. First put it on and see. If I can pull it one hard, really hard from my neck, that works. If I do this, see? If I do this, I know it's gonna hold. See, I pull it. See? Now I know that's gonna hold. If you don't want a safety clip, make sure you take it and you put it on, you wrap it. You shoot, my battery's dying. I put my battery, huh? There it goes. And make sure that it's you don't have to have a safety clip. Lanyard. Perfect. Perfect for cameras. All right, so now let's talk about grabbing your phone and photographing with your phone. Oh, this right here, I have a couple of these on my site, but if not, I can show you how to make one easily. All it is you go to Walmart and get yourself a ribbon, okay? And you can do this. And you can take that ribbon, you put it on, and it's a 3M. And what it is this. Let me show you how this works. This is some of the promo items. I give these out. So if you guys ever see me in an event, you have one of these, I give these out too. And that's what it looks like inside. See? So it is. All it is a 3M high tack tape. Okay, put it on here. High tack tape. Stick the ribbon from there outside to this and outside to this into this. That's how to make that. So, but you have to have some really, really high tack on a case, on a phone case. So that's how I use that. Okay. And then I take my phone, which is good. I mean, I've gone through so many phones because I used to drop and all that. So I found made that and it works great. So then back together and you have that. Oops. See, I just dropped it. So, all right. So let's talk about smaller cameras. So you photograph with a smaller camera. This is tiny. This is cool. Same thing. If you're shaking, always remember your hand is your tripod. Tripod. Do this number, okay? Grab it here and here. Why do I use my hands on my lens? Because I control, you see this setting? See this? This is how I control my ring, okay? For zooming, or it also is a base. So I have now two supports. Now with the Sony cameras like this, they have it where it pops the little screen out, I put a little screen protector on here, always screen protector, everything. You can see what you're doing. I'm like, oh, pretty cool. And then you deep breath, you photograph. Deep breath and release. The reason why I say that is when you hold a deep breath in, you're more prone to have a straight angle and release. If you can't hold your breath, that's fine. Just try to take okay. And always when you look at your camera, and if you have a camera, like any camera it is, you see me doing this? See this? Real quick. See this? In, out, in, out. And then every single setting on your camera is different. We're going to be talking about that right now. We're going to start getting into that, okay? I'm going to make us all a bunch of them for the cruise. Seems to almost in deep. Hey, I'll show you guys. Shannon, reach out to me privately on my personal page later. I'll show you how to make them. They're pretty cool. I print them too, but all right. So every single setting's on your camera. Let's talk about these little dials. What it means on a camera. So for those that have phones, you have manual on your phone. We'll talk about that in a bit. But right now, if it's green, that means automatic. The camera does everything. It does the magic for you. All you gotta do is you take it, you hold your camera. You first of all turn your camera, make sure it looks good. Okay, let me take a different camera. That one hasn't been charged. So, all right, so take this, take the camera in place, look, photograph, and shoot. Okay, now if you notice the different angles, this is also a tripod. See this? This is the way I do it. There you go. See, you hold it near your chest. If for ladies, bring this in right here, tuck, real tight tuck, and now bracket. That right there, if you level it. Most cameras have a level system in them. But see this? That's how it is. There we go. That's how you use your camera. in this, and it also helps out. See, down, up, down, up. It doesn't hurt your arm that much if you're actually doing weddings or doing kids photos or the park, and you also have your lens to hold it like this. That's why I always hold my lens like this. Now, in the industry, they want you guys to hold it like this or to hold it like right here. I see a lot of people do this. Okay, don't do that because you could drop a camera. This actually gives you the support you need. All right, next setting. Let's go to the first setting, the automatic. The automatic does everything for you. Now, you look through here when you have a camera, okay, up here. Now, if you want to go live, okay, you can see what live is, okay, and there it is. It's hard to see on this, but live does that. And the camera has a little square in the middle. The little square in the middle means that that is what's in the center of the whole frame. And they're explaining frames. If you want to see what your camera's going to look at, and before I go to a shoot, I say to beginners, look at your settings, look around you. So I say love and life is your frame. Okay, that's a frame. You see that frame? That's a full frame. Crop frame is this. So you see the first line of your finger right here, and right there's a crop frame. So this is a full frame. Okay, full frame. I look around. Oh, perfect. So that's what I'm gonna look for in my camera. So when you pick up your camera and you have the same setting in here, even in your phone, okay, even in your phone, you have the same setting. It's a rectangle, right? L and L. See, oops, sorry. So I do L and L. Oh, sorry, L and L. Sorry, backwards. L and L means love. Love. See that photo right there? That's what it is. So I'm gonna look for that frame inside my picture. That's what it is. Okay. L and L is love. Love of life and memories. Capture. That's what I look for when I'm looking around. Oh, I like that. Okay. Your lens, if you want to see what your lens is, okay. We'll be talking about aperture later on, but then you do a little circle. Okay. Now, people see me doing the okay every time. Everybody gives you thumbs up. No, what I'm doing is I'm actually canceling out. If you take your thumb, close one eye. Try this out. Close one eye. Take your thumb and look at something, and then put that thumb over something you want to cancel out. Okay. Diamond, huh? My triangle. I thought it was a passive. Hey, you know what, you guys? Like say, ask away. Ask me questions. Shannon. Oh, I just don't move the arms. Just a wrist. Yes, just a wrist. Keep it tight. Keep it tight. Keep it tight. Close into you. Okay. Keep that shoulder in here. Keep it real tight into you. The more tighter you are, the better. Because it also helps your neck too. Helps out your neck like a lot. So take your thumb, close your eyes, and take your thumb. You see a lot of movie directors doing this also. Why? Because they're trying to spot things that they don't know in the frame. If you close one eye and you go like this and look at something like this, you're gonna be able to. Let's say I have this right here. Right, I want to get this out of my photo. I'll take it this. I'll go to this. Okay, I don't want that. So I can see my surroundings around it. And what that means is now you have your frame. Okay, you're looking around, perfect frame. But I have a person in there, so I'm trying to figure out how to move it over. Now I cut that person out of the photo. But later on, I could edit that photo. So yeah, everybody's going, yay, yay. So yeah, you'll see you're doing this all the time, and people are like, I was like, move all the way, so you get that all the time. So even with your phones, you turn on your phones on your camera, your phone, same thing. You turn on your camera on your phones and you try to, like you see, I don't know if you guys can see that photo, but I say, I don't want that in there. So I will put my thumb up. I'll put my thumb up and I'll look over my thumb and that's why I want it off. All right. One hand backwards. Yeah, it's hard to when it's reverse. You from here is reverse. So, all right. So now we got to automatic. So when you look at your camera, inside your camera, there's a grid. Okay, that's called quadrants. Okay, and it looks like tic-tac-toe. All right, tic-tac-toe. So yeah, if we're back in school, we put the X and zero, and all your friends are having to fight who's going to win tic-tac-toe. So tic-tac-toe, it's inside your camera. It's called quadrants. Okay, in your quadrant society, what that does is shows you it's a grid, okay? Tic-tac-toe grid. And inside that grid, the X in the middle, you want to show you about the thumb? That X in the middle is what the perfect center of your eye is looking at. So you have your love, your life, and in the middle, you see that right there, the X right there. So you do like an X in the middle. That is where, when you're on automatic mode, your camera is designating that center straight out, and it reads everything around it. Is going to calculate what is better. Just trying to focus everywhere around, okay? So we try to focus up around, that's what I do. The camera in the middle is going to see that quadrant. So this is called upper quadrant, lower quadrant, high rise, and lower rise. We'll be talking about how to do composite later on. That'll be class 5. So when you have your automatic camera, the first thing you see in your camera is a grid inside here. Okay, even on your phones, some of your phones have, you see it, you take a photo and it has this little box moving around. That little is your automatic mode on the camera in this. Okay, so when you do an automatic, the camera is looking for the best environment to capture and focus everything that it can to make sure your photo comes good. Okay, so when you're learning, I encourage people to take automatic and take a photo and look at the back of your screen. You see those settings? Take a cheat sheet with you. What I do is when I go on my shoots, first of all, I scout. I scout the times, I scout everything. But I take it. Let me get it. I'm show you what I did. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Sorry about that, you guys. All right, so this is what I do. Sorry about the mess down there. That's all my photos. So I take a notebook like this. You see all my tabs? Little notebook, Dollar Tree, Dollar Tree. All right. So I go into this little notebook, right? And I'll go to a photo shoot. I'll say Monday. I'll put Monday in the date. Okay. So now I take a photo with my camera. Put a card in here. I'll put a card. Let me see this card. All right. So now I'm doing. Okay. So all right, so I just took 3 photos, right? So all of a sudden, I go back at my camera, I press play, and I see photos. Well, I go in here and I write the numbers that I like in here. Meaning, when I go back home to my camera, I put my camera on my computer and I see what's in here. There might be 1,000 photos in here. You go to a park with your kids, or you go anywhere, you're like, click, 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 and you get home and you put the computer on and you're waiting for all the photos to load. Remember, we're happy now. We got unlimited film. So what I do is I take my thing, and I take a pen, and I'll put in Monday. Go in here. So I'll do my card. We'll talk about speeds on cards. So we'll go in here. I'll put Monday, the date. So actually today's Tuesday. 3/19. And I'll say number. And I'll say what numbers I like in here. I'll say 906, 1001. So I take this book, this page, and I go home. I take that book and I take those cards out and I put it on my computer. I look for these photos. I put them in a folder, and that's it. And I start editing those. That cuts my time by hours. Okay, cut about hours. So a little notebook like this. They have a small, fits in your pocket. And the reason I use the tabs is because I do wildlife, weddings, then contacts. So this little notebook, and then when it gets full, I put it down. And then if I go back into this, you know what? I'm gonna revisit some of these photos. I'm gonna go back and edit some. I love that eagle shot, but let me go fix it. Sorry. I'll go back into this book and I see what shot that was. So that's something that I recommend for photographers, no matter if you're professional or beginners, even on your phone. How many times have you gone on your phone and you have gone crazy on your phone? You've gone, like, hey, like right now, they're taking photos, right? And I go back to my phone and I say, I look about it. The phone, depending if it's Apple or Android, it'll tell you by dates. So you hear by dates, see by dates. So guess what? I want to do the pictures on my phone on the gallery on March 13th. And then on your phones, make folders on your phone, wildlife, family, and start dragging photos in there. Hey, and that's camera call mobile. Hey, you can start. That's fine. As long as you know. As long as you go back to it and know where it's at, that helps you a lot. So now we're going to go into the next part. We're going to go into on your thing. We have independent camera, Nikon. Most of the cameras have something called no flash. No flash. I love that setting. I love it. And a lot of photographers hate me for this. We go to a concert, we go to an event, and there's a person with a flashlight, with a speed light going pop, 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 pop. What are your folders? My folders, I have them categorized by, for example, I have weddings, I have portraits, I have seniors, I have creative, I have edited, then I do it by dates in there. So, for example, I have Emmy Cruise, 1, 2, I have Emmy Cruise, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7. And then inside that folder, I have edited and unedited. So if I go back to those photos, I'll be able to. I'll show you guys about backups and all that. And I'll tell you what happened to me recently, so which is kind of crazy. But you go in there, you separate them. So let's go to the next setting. On your cameras, it's called no flash. So we're at a concert. Oh man, and it's just nothing more frustrating to see someone with a flash going boom, boom, and you see the artist on stage, and all you see is the person next to you flash, 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 flash. Do this, you guys. Send it from your computer. Put your hands up and do this. Okay. So, or go somewhere and just put your hands down here. Okay. You could see that. So remember, now imagine a person sitting next to you with a camera with a light going off every 3 seconds, strobing in your eyes. Or you hear click, 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 click. I am one of them. You see me on the floor running. I'm always on the floor, and I never use a speed light unless it's actually asked by a by an artist or something. But otherwise, I don't use a speed light. And a lot of photographers hate me for this. They're like, Alex, we need a speed light. Yes, you do need speed lights at certain events, certain occasions. Let's have dinners, or you have certain events. There's times you walk in blind to events and you don't know what you're walking into. So you gotta have, or studio settings, portraiture photography, you gotta have a speed light. But when you're at a concert or out, please be respectful, that you do not have the flash going on every 2 seconds. Okay, so that's that. So now your camera, you got this camera. I don't even know, even on your phone. We have this on your phones, you guys. There's nothing more crazy to see somebody with a phone with those little lights on. Okay, and you're at a concert, you're at a dinner, you're doing a wedding, anywhere you at, and that little light that you hear, the little light. Two things happens. Once if you have this light on more than 5 minutes, it will burn your phone out. It starts causing problems with your phone because this little LED light gets hot and it causes your cell phones to actually start heating up. Turn on this light and put your finger over it. You see how hot it gets. So that imagine do that to inside of your phone. So what happens is it starts getting hot inside and starts causing there's a little soldering points and becomes loose. That is, and you see it now concerts, everybody doing this, and it's kind of cool, awesome. But imagine having somebody's eyes. You imagine somebody on stage, or imagine you know, you middle of the night. The worst thing you could do for a person is that you might do a photo at night, and all of a sudden you turn the light on, and you see the spots afterwards. Now imagine have thousands and thousands of those phones. So whenever you're at a concert or you're at an event, and you're watching an artist and musician, put your phone down. Put it down. Yeah, take a couple photos, go live, cool. Hey, show where you at, and then enjoy the concert. There's a reason why that the artists and musicians are doing it. Now they're actually taking these phones and they're making them they have you put them in a little bag and the bag shuts it off. So phones, this little light is intense. Okay, so that little light. So on your camera, you actually have a setting that's called no flash. Yeah. No flash means you're not gonna blind me. You're not gonna blind the artist. You're not blind you and the person next to you will actually enjoy the concert. No flash. Now the camera, when that happens, remember they showed you guys about this? Now, at that time, when you have no light, no flash on your camera, and you're in a dark setting, it has to compensate for what you're taking away from it. So when you're taking the light away, backup bags, what backups? The home screen could be too bright. Yes, that is true. I'll tell you about phones and how to fix that on your phones. So you're like this right now. Remember, I showed you how to hold this right here. Now, if you're in if a no flash on your camera, and you're actually going to be taking some photos. Oh, they're going. No, you don't have. No, not on the cruise. On the cruise, they won't do that. They only do it at certain concerts, certain Live Nation concerts, and certain artists are taking that, so people can actually enjoy the music now. So they're doing that. So when you're at an area with no, you put the camera on no flash. Okay, there's a setting on here. The next dial up is called no flash or no speed light. And you're doing this. This is the time that you hold this like this, and you have to really have a steady hand because the camera's going to compensate for the light that's missing. When that does, is the speed of the shutter opens and closes. It's going to take a little bit of click, click. Now that is great when you have a tripod and you're doing some like moon and stars and some pretty cool creative stuff. And you have a telescope, on it or whatever. That's pretty cool to do that because you can do a bulb click and it opens the shutter and then boop and it closes. It's phenomenal. Phenomenal. I love that setting. But when you're at concerts, you gotta compensate for that. And I'll show you guys how to compensate that later on, which causes we'll talk about ISOs and all that. The next setting you have on cameras is a portrait. It's a little person's head. So the little person's head, and you see, that little head that's cut off. Like, remember, you're on a monument. Okay, that means you're a portrait. That means that the person, the face will be in focus and the background will be blurry. All right. So what that means on your camera. That means that the person will be in focus and it's actually pretty cool. You do it at daylight. It's recommended to do portraiture. Golden hours of photography: early morning from sunrise to probably 9 o'clock. Call it a good day, and then also the evening time. I love from like 3, actually like 4 o'clock till sunset. Those are golden hours. That means the tones are great. Everything's so smooth. It's golden hours. If you see me on a cruise, if everybody talk about cruise, I do travel a lot on cruises. I do teach photography on cruises, but it's kind of cool because you see me in the mornings. Every morning I wake up and see the sunrise with my cup of coffee and my camera because I love seeing that perfect, just the colors come out. If you guys don't, if you're somewhere right now that you could actually get out and go to a beach in the mornings or even somewhere near that you can see a sunrise, sit there for a few minutes and then see how those colors come to life in front of you. It goes from a pure darkness and it changes to blues and pinks and yellows and oranges. It is so beautiful, so beautiful. So we photographers love that. So you see a lot of photographers, wildlife photographers. First of all, the animals are more active, but we get out there. So we like wildlife. Also, the drew on the flowers. You see flowers with drops on them. That is the best time. I live by the beach. It is amazing. Yes, Shannon, it is amazing. I love sunrise. I got a lot of sunrise photos near my house. So that's the golden hours. So in your camera, if you have the picture of a portrait of a person, the camera is going to actually compensate for every single person. Remember, it has a picture of a person on the head. That's portrait. That means a person's going to be in focus and everything's going to, in the background's going to be blurry. That's what that setting means. The next setting we have, this is a Canon, okay, and it applies to the entry levels from the T3Is all the way to I think the 60 or 70Ds have it, and after that they start changing it. The higher end professionals, like if it's a 7D or something like that, don't have it. Nikon has the same thing, it has the picture has a woman with a hat, so Nikon stepped it up. Sony has it in the back right here. Sony has it in the back in the menu. That's what that is. That's what that one is. So yeah, so that's a beautiful golden hours. The next photo one we have, it is a mountains. Woohoo! Landscape. Okay, landscape photography. Everybody goes, Alex, how do you get those green colors? How do you get those perfect photos? Well, the time. The same thing, golden hours in the mornings. Let the sun come up and you see the sun blazing everywhere. The most amazing photo I took, it was one of the canyons and the light had just come through a hole. You can see the colors, oranges, blues, and reds. I put the camera on landscape because the landscape, believe it or not, it changes your white balance on your camera to make the greens and blues come out more. So the camera does that for you. Okay, when we talk about white balance, how do you take photos of something in the water? Ha! That's a cool one. I'll give you a funny one on how to do that one. Like a funny one. I'll show you how to capture water and all that. We're gonna do water on day 6. So we'll be showing you how to capture water, how to capture drops, how to capture speed. That'll be day 6. So, but yeah, for sure, landscape. So when you put your camera on landscape, you turn your dial and put it on landscape. Explore the settings because every setting changes in white balance. It changes. It will change the way some stuff is in focus. All right. The next one is macro. It's a little flower. A little flower. You guys see behind me that picture right there? That one right there? That one right there is a dragonfly. It took me 3 hours to capture that one. It's one of my most famous photos. It's been all over the world. I don't print that one no more. But 3 hours to capture that. Now, if you guys want a challenge, here's a challenge for you guys. All right, here's some homework. Dragonfly season is right now in full effect. Okay. That one actually right there. That's dragonfly right there. Okay, that's dragonfly. It took 3 hours to capture that photo. If you guys know about dragonflies is that it will take off. You see it flying around, it'll stop somewhere and stick. All right, it'll go fly away. Now, if you're patient enough, you sit there with your camera, like I showed you. Now, when I'm doing my animals, or if I'm doing something, I'm sitting down in a position where I'm actually have to sit down. Don't sit, so this is what I do like this. I sit Indian style. I hold my camera, same thing. Boom, boom. Why? Because this will give me a good focus to sit there for 30 minutes, 40 minutes. It'll help out. So like right now, it's at this position, it helps me out for a little bit. I can't stay this long enough because I do have a back problem, but it does help out. Especially with I'll show you one. This actually was Cameron, a lion. All right. You guys can see it. This right here, and it was shot through a fence. And I had to sit there for a little bit and capture him. Okay. Because I will show all these photos up on my website so you guys can see them. But this is Cameron. That's shot through a fence. And I was waiting for him because he used to stick his tongue out. And I got like probably like 50 or 60 photos. And all of a sudden he goes like this, he goes, "Ugh," and he sticks his tongue out. I capture that. But I was sitting there with my camera capturing it. And that was, if you do anything with macro, a quick tip for macro, get yourself a magnifying glass. Okay, magnifying glass works great. Dollar Tree is, I tell my students, Dollar Tree is my best friend for people that are learning. So yeah, I love him. He passed away. Oh God, he's beautiful. But yeah, I take a magnifying glass, put it in front of this, and it becomes a macro. Macro is great for up close and personal of an object. Up close and personal, meaning you're gonna get right here and see it. That is a macro photography. Anything that is microscopic, macro, bring up close. You want to see those? You see photos of people, photos with flies. You can see those tiny little holes and all that. Lens wise, I use this called 50 millimeter to 100 millimeter. They're dedicated lenses. Yeah, I know. You knew this line. Yeah, he was pretty cool. I watched him at Big Cat Rescue in Tampa. If you guys want to go somewhere to see tigers and leopards and all that, Big Cat Rescue in Tampa is a place to go. They're a nonprofit organization. They do rescue. I have a lot of my tiger photos from there. I have my, I'm a Big Cat fan, so I have a lot of photos from there, and I donated to them. So we have that. So I was so macro, you get up close and personal. So with that particular shot right there, whoops, that one right there, the dragonfly, I had 100 millimeter. There's a difference between a flexible zoom lens, the telescopic, and flexible, meaning and a range lens means like 1855. That's pretty cool. You can check them out. So in your phone, like say in your camera, this is what's called the 50 millimeter. What this means is a fixed lens. Okay, that is a range of 50 millimeter. This is great. If you want to do up close and personal photos, this is it. This is the lens you want to get. This is very close. Now, if you want to do like wildlife, 100 millimeters, the thing about this is that this lens, you know, it's very close. It's right here, but you will catch the most detail. Also, the aperture, I'll tell you about lenses and what all these numbers mean. That will be tomorrow's class. Tomorrow, talking about lenses and what to use and all that. Now, I told some of my students that, okay, Alex, I have a phone. All right, so get yourself a lens. Okay, like this. Okay, they have all these funky kits. Okay, you have a phone. Now, if you have a loved one or a spouse, or you even have old lenses. All right, check this out. If you have an old lens and it's broken, okay, you find lenses at the flea market for $1 or $2. They're broken and they're not whatever. This one matters. This one matters. If you look through that, you see the lens right there. You can see it. See how you can see inside that right there? Becomes almost pretty cool, huh? So you guys can see that. It becomes almost a. I'll try to show you guys. That's a guitar upside down. You see how cool that is? It inverts it. So I will take my phone. And this is a challenge. I challenge you guys to do this and tag me in your photos, okay? So I'll go in here. I'll turn on my camera on my phone. All right. And then I'll take line this up to this. And now guess what? I right now have a pretty cool lens. All right. I do this with it. See? I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's pretty cool. So you just line it up. Okay. And then I just touch my phone. And now it looks like almost like a porthole shot. You see that? You guys can see this? See this? It becomes almost a circle around. It's a pretty cool shot. Okay. Creative photography. Lenses all the time. If not, get yourself if you're doing your phone, you can do it with a camera too. Get yourself a magnifying glass and put it over your lens. It becomes a pretty cool macro. If you cannot afford a good lens, if you have a kit camera like this, or a kit camera or a telephone, and you want some pretty cool macro, take a magnifying glass in front of it, and it works great. Easy. I don't know what I'm doing this afternoon. Hey, Dollar Tree is awesome, man. Dollar Tree is awesome. I'll be teaching you guys some pretty cool stuff, how to photograph through water, and how to do some fun creative shots. So the next one we have, which is my favorite, the running man. Hey, the running man, the running man, the running man. Woo! How many of you guys have kids with sports and the running, and you want to capture them? Woo! And you want to see those basketball players in the air. You want to capture a dog just running or the waves. So that is the running man. The running man, what that means is your camera sets everything for you and it freezes up action. It freezes action. So that's what the running man means in your camera. The running man also is kind of cool at doing daylight. The worst time of photography in the day is between 12 and 1 or 12 and 2, unless it's cloudy. All right. So the Running Man, hey, you should mess with your kids. Arnold Schwarzenegger's Running Man. So I was trying to teach the kids like what, or back in the days we used to dance the Running Man. So that was I tell people that remember your camera, remember the Running Man stops action. You want to capture stop action. That's what the Running Man means on your camera. Okay. After that, you have one that's like a night, and that's mainly the nighttime is hard because the night photography you gotta have a speed light, you gotta have flash for it to capture nighttime. I use my night settings for concerts. Okay. Hey Alex, how you capture that without speed light? Night settings. Besides, I use my manual mode. And we're gonna talk about the other mode, the other side of the dial. So not let's go to the professional side of your dial. So professional side of your dial, the one and only, the MF, the M, the MF. That is the mother of all. You can think about it. We know what MF means. Yes, that is why. Because it's the hardest setting to learn your camera is the MF, the M, the manual mode. The manual mode, you gotta know what you're doing. Your ISO, your apertures. That is the hardest. Meaning that's like you want to cuss every single time because it's the hardest to learn. If you could learn, the manual mode, you will learn the MF of your camera. Then you have the P, which is different priorities, meaning like if you have my cameras has a TV, has a AV, which is aperture priority. Aperture means is whether you want it to be in focus and all that. So apertures are more complicated. So my challenge for you guys is the following, okay? If you have it on your phones, you can actually download if you have Apple or Android, you can actually download a different manual settings on your phone for manual camera. Start exploring the settings. Take a photo and see those ratings and write it down. Hey, I was ISO 400. Look at different settings and learn that the settings that your phone does. Same goes with the cameras. Take a photo. Like take your camera. And then turn it on. Well, let me do the other camera. Let's see. Let's do this one. All right. Let's do this one. Turn it on. Okay. And then you take a photo, and back here at the screen will give you numbers. Like right now, it's telling me 1.6. Oh, aperture 4.6. This is the number of the one slash something is speed. Okay. Anything that has less than 1/60th, it requires a tripod. Okay, unless you're very good with your hands. The F number is the aperture. The higher that number is, the more focus is. The less the number is, the less the focus thins. Meaning that if you've seen the photo of the person here, and the background is all blurry, that's a 5.6. If you have an F22, everything's in focus. And we'll talk about aperture is very complicated to explain. Well, I'm not gonna go into that because you guys will be like, I went through you guys the curveball. But that's that. So those are your basic settings on the camera. So you start from your green all the way to all the little icons, and then you start working on the other side. So that's the advanced settings. Let's talk about cards. All right, here's a challenge for you guys. So many of us are in professional field buy a regular SD card. Okay, and I'll show you something like this. Many of us are starting off by a card. Okay, and don't look at the card. They don't look at the card at all. Okay, there's numbers in this card for a reason. Sorry, it's backwards. So it's like you see the numbers on that. Okay, every number on there means something. Okay, so this has like this how much space is 32 gigs, and then it says a C and a little number on it. That class matters the speed. It matters the type of card it is. The higher the class, the better rating it is. Also, the speed. This is like an 8 megabit transfer. If you're like me, you go trigger happy, you want higher speed. So that's that. Okay. Yeah, we're not gonna be talking about focusing and aperture and all that. That's an advanced class, but we're not going into that. Now, if you're an Android person, if you're Android, also Apple can do this too. They have little cartons. You use a professional camera, and some of the cameras have Wi-Fi. But when you use your Wi-Fi, it drains your card. It drains your camera, your batteries. So what I do is I take my micro SD cards, okay, and you put in this little adapter, and you put it in your cameras. Okay, and what that does is I could take this little card, put it in my phone, and I could see the pictures. And how many times I've taken photos? Okay. I will add the link for that. So let me show you something cool little device. This little device right here. Okay, these are some packs. You get these. You can put your card into this and put it to your phone, or you can just put this in your phone. Apple users have a micro SD adapter for your phones. So if you are like me, you're done with your session, and you're done, and your wife drives home, or your husband, or your loved one drives home, or even your kids drive you, and you're so eager. It's like, oh, I got some good shots. I can like, your mind's going. Because I don't know about you guys, but when I capture something, my mind's like, woo, and you drive an hour, 2 hour back. Nah, man, I want to get into it. I want to start showing the world what I just did. So I buy myself, you get these at Walmart or Amazon, but you get this, and then inside goes these cards. You take this card and put it on your phone. Great, you can edit on your phone. There's a lot of apps right now they can do all these fun filters with and all that fun stuff. So, and the space matters a lot on your camera too. So, the higher the space on these, the more it takes to download. So, like my camera, my professional camera takes almost like 30 minutes, even with the best computer, to download my whole card because it's so much gigabytes in there. So I have a lot of these, a lot. So I do have these. So million videos, yeah, videos and editing. If you're going on cruises, man, I'll tell people this: if you're going on cruises, um, I get myself something like this. You see this? And then this is a little card. It's waterproof. You close it up and it fits in your pocket. Because it protects your cards for a couple things. You put your credit card sometimes, so you go like this, you stick it in there. You see you have all your cards in there. So you push it in there and it holds your cards. See? It also holds a little mini SD cards too. So if you could do party, you have 8 cards here. So if you go on a cruise, you have day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7, whatever. You have all your cruises on here. I take this card, I take it like this, and that's my cards. You go shake it, doesn't break because these do break back here. Okay, that do break. Tic Tac case. Yeah, Tic Tac case is cool. I use Android. I use Altoid boxes. I've done everything. All right, and the last thing I'm gonna probably teach you guys for today is back up. Let me show you. Whoops, there it goes. So let me show you guys what happened to me. I did my computer. I was at home and I have let's see, two backup servers and 4 laptops. And I was driving from with all my photos, and I had put into my laptop, and came home, plug in the laptop, and I'm very cautious about my stuff. I didn't have time to back it up. It was too many. It was a lot of videos, and my laptop, I dropped it. I dropped my laptop because my hand, I dropped it. So they do break. Those cards do break. The SD cards do break. So I dropped my laptop. I lost everything. There's something called solid state drives, but even though the solid state doesn't matter, they do break, they do crash. And the good thing is I was able to recover some of my stuff, but I was able to get it back. Normally, when I drive somewhere, I'm at a session. If I don't have too many gigs, I put in these. This is a backup hard drive, external hard drives. You get these everywhere. I tape mine sometimes so I know what's on them. I have a stack of these, and then what happens is I take this, come home, I put it to my computer. It has a cable to it. I have a base for it. I put it in and back up everything into my other computer. And I was able to get some myself. I lost a lot of stuff, but it happens. It does happen. No matter how cautious, it does happen. So you guys, it was good to chill with you guys today. Shannon, thank you for being on here asking me questions. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to chit chat with me. I'll be back on here tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be going into some shooting tomorrow. I'll be teaching you guys how to shoot some pretty cool stuff tomorrow, and how to shoot through water. I know that was asked today. Somebody asked me about how to photograph water. We're gonna be doing that tomorrow. I want to take the label off. I don't want to get in trouble. So, all right, guys, lots of love to everybody. Share this video with people. Like I say, today's video, like an intro, I'll give you guys a little bit of rundown of cameras and what they do, what not to do, some of my little bit of tips on my gear. Tomorrow we're getting into the side of photography, learning photography tomorrow. I'll be teaching you guys tomorrow how to shoot. Actually, we're gonna go outside. We're gonna go outside. I'm gonna take you guys outdoors with me tomorrow, weather permitting. And at 10 o'clock tomorrow in the morning, I'll go in outdoor. We do outdoor photography tomorrow. I'm gonna show you guys how to photograph flowers tomorrow. So tomorrow we're doing landscape photography, outdoor photography. Talk about lenses, even for phone people. We'll be using for phones. But if you guys want to have some fun for tomorrow, bring some uh magnifying lenses with you. That'll be great. So also I'll be teaching painting with glass. Like how to paint and do some pretty cool paints every other night. And then once a week I'll show you guys how to sell your stuff, on how to sell your photos and art online. Lots of love to everybody. Thank you guys for joining me. Like I say, thank you guys so long. Thank you guys for an hour and 15 minutes hanging out with me. Okay, I'll send you guys links for everything. If you have any questions, check out my website. It's amelophotographic's.com. If you guys want to know more about me and who I am and what I do. Thank you guys for being here. Lots of love to everybody, and y'all take care. Bye bye.